Hey, Emily. One second. Ooh. Turn this fan on so my camera doesn't overheat. Alright, so you know the deal. Let me know how this resonates if you have any questions. Hope you're doing alright. Let's get this started. Oh, I need to turn my phone back on so I can get my timer. 1 second. Sorry, I was not prepared. Ow. No. Where's my timer? There we go. Put that on 39. Get my music back. Probably not as loud as I had it while I was shuffling. Alright. Of course. You gotta start me off with an ad. Sorry. Go away. Alright. Why is my... There we go. Okay. I'm ready now. Alright, starting off with the current energy situation. Right now you seem to be kind of optimistic. Feeling good for the most part. There's an energy of positivity, excitement. I don't know, I asked this to be the current energy situation in the relationship, so maybe things have improved since the last time we spoke, or maybe this is your energy picking back up, or just you kind of outside of, just in your own life, you're feeling optimistic and excited and passionate and things are going well. Let's look. Got Leo, strong Aries, Leo, Sag, strong fire energy here. So a lot of passion. Okay. I haven't even asked yet. The World and the reverse. Tell me one more with the Sun and the Queen of Wands for the current energy situation for Emily. What is Emily's current energy situation? Oh. You're funny. You're so funny. Why is that in the reverse? Hold on. Okay. So the Lovers came out. So I guess maybe things have improved. Maybe you had a conversation and kind of reconnected, reconciled, come back together and fixed the differences or the argument or something like that. Very positive, good energy here. Unless this is a connection with someone else that maybe you are feeling good about. I'm not saying like another outside, like a lover or whatever, but let's see the Sun. This is you living in the light, enjoying the sunshine while it's still here before fall. Literally, you know, a lot of positivity surrounding internally, externally. Tell me about the Sun. What is Emily's Sun here? The Sun is about happiness. Okay. Maybe this could have been like a short vacation or like a spa day that you took, some time to yourself to kind of like rehabilitate. Took like a small, what do you call that? Like a resting period. It could have been like you took some time to yourself here and it kind of rejuvenated you. Tell me about that Queen of Wands. Tell me about that Queen of Wands. This is your energy. So again, you're feeling very passion for life, or what's going on, at least maybe in career. Just feeling very optimistic, happy, excited. Is that the King of Wands? It is. So taking initiative here, being very much in your power. Maybe there has been a reconnection between either you and Preston or you and someone else, or this is just your energy. It's just reconfirming that you're kind of being assertive, you know, taking control, or at least feeling like you have the world at your fingertips, excited about life, excited about something going on in your life. Tell me about the Lovers. This is a mind, body, soul connection. It doesn't necessarily have to mean a romantic one. It could talk about a friendship or a family relationship. Tell me about the Lovers. I have Gemini energy there, very strong Leo energy, or fire sign. Tell me about the Lovers, please, for Emily's current energy situation. It could be that you just kind of took a brief respite. Seems like that's the wrong word. Tell me about the Lovers. Tell me about the Lovers, please, for Emily's current energy situation. Clarify, what is the Lovers up to? Six of Swords. So this literally can talk about him moving in, because the Six of Swords can represent movement. The Six of Swords can also talk about like seeking solitude, seeking similar to that Four of Swords, where we kind of like go internal, we seek like solitary comfort. With the Six of Swords, this is very like taking a mental break, or taking a break in communication. There's two different things here. Maybe you reconnected with somebody that you hadn't spoken to in a while. There was very little to no communication, and you've reconnected. But it seems with that Six of Swords that you're kind of thinking that maybe you should keep it, keep them or keep this at a distance. If that's not someone else, this is just talking about Preston, and you're kind of like giving yourself a mental break from or communication. You're not talking as much because there's a lot of turbulence going on between the two of you. In what is a strong union, you are feeling the need to kind of separate a little bit or distance yourself. But overall, I do feel like mostly positive, happy energy, a lot of light. Overall good energy, but there is some, with the Four and the Six of Swords, there is a little bit of like, I need time, or you just came out of that, or you're taking some time to yourself to think about things, which is pretty, I mean, self-explanatory. We went over that, so that's nothing new. Alright, so what is crossing you as your biggest challenge or obstacle? We have Libra energy and Scorpio, so justice and death here. With death showing up first, this is the main pull, anything to the side or below or clarifiers. Death is the change here. It's a big shift. It is a big change, a big transformation, something that is an ending in a way. It's either literal or figurative, but it is a significant, transformative experience. So I'm going to clarify that. And this could be with the justice, that things are shifting. The balance of things are shifting. What once was on an even plane is now shifting and changing in a way that's as a challenge or obstacle, this could be upsetting. Tell me one more with the Justice and the Death card for what is crossing Emily as her biggest challenge or obstacle, please. One more with Justice. Very odd music here. I can never find the right channel. Tell me one more with the Justice and Death for the biggest challenge or obstacle for Emily. Things are shifting and changing. Tell me one more, please. What's crossing her as her biggest challenge or obstacle, please? No. On the bottom. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, not wanting to let go of something because the balance or the shift of power, the shift in balance is so much. You're kind of wanting to keep things the way they have been because that's your comfort level. Kind like it's trying to hold on to either control over it, not letting it slip through your fingers. Tell me about Justice. What does Justice represent for the biggest challenge or obstacle here for Emily in regards to this connection? That is too many. Way too many. Tell me about Justice, please. Tell me about Justice. Oh, wow. Look at that. It landed right on top. Same exact card. Four of Pentacles. So, maybe you're afraid of the shift in financial. Like, who is going to provide more? Who is going to keep track of finances? You know, not wanting to be dependent, or not wanting anyone to be dependent on you. But mainly what I see here with the four, because it can talk about like keeping a tight grip on your resources, but it can also talk about not wanting to let go, not wanting to release something, and you're not wanting to release the balance. You're not wanting to tip the scales here into something that changes things in such a drastic way, because death is a drastic change. Let's look at death. No? Okay. Don't want me to use that deck. Wheel of Fortune tried to come out in the reverse. Not wanting to change things in a way that you can't control. That's a repetitive message. You want to know that you have and can remain in control. Not like to be controlling, but you just don't want to feel powerless or feel like, you know, your life is in someone else's hands in a way that can't be fixed. Tell me about death. Clarify death, please. What change? That's pretty obvious, but go ahead and clarify it. Tell me about the death card. Tell me about death. Clarify death, or what that represents for the biggest challenge or obstacle. The moon. Not knowing what changes. Not knowing what the changes are. What is going to change? How big of an impact is it going to make? What does it look like going forward? This is the unknown. This is the subconscious. This is fear bubbling up to the surface. It's the things that you've tried to push back under and not. And that might be another aspect of holding on. Not trying to look at. See the way she's faced away from it. If I don't look at it, it's not real. If I don't acknowledge it, it'll go away. It's very significant that we have three major arcana. So to you, this is tremendous. Tell me one more about death. Tell me one more about death. The devil, yeah, not wanting to relinquish control out of fear. This might be a habit that you have done or have repeated in the past. Not to say that you've ever been in this situation where someone is going to be moving in with you, but it's a fear of the unknown, basically, and the changes that that brings, or that it could potentially bring. Tell me about the Four of Pentacles. What are we holding on to so tightly? What are we not wanting? Okay. Six of Wands. Yeah, it's like being in charge is important. But also a sense of I'm going to be super honest here, and this is going to sound really bad, but I don't want it to because it's human nature. So I'm not like jabbing you, I'm not judging you, but I think a small part of it, small because it is minor arcana, is part of you fears letting go of what else is there. Am I closing down my options for good, and what does that mean? Basically, liking attention, enjoying, you know, being seen, being validated, and knowing that this would change that you wouldn't have options anymore. You wouldn't be able to entertain. And you know, some of that, with that devil there, you might know that he would not, maybe he's possessive, maybe he's showing signs of being possessive or controlling or manipulative, not like to an extent that it's abusive, but to an extent that it's like, you know, if you're a social butterfly and he's more of a homebody, then you would have to kind of change your natural self, your, you know, characteristics to appease but it's also closing down a part of you that kind of enjoys your freedom as well, because the Six of Wands in this card gives me this sense of freedom. It is a card about, you know, receiving attention, ego, being in the limelight, you know, a victory won after some hard work. Maybe a part of that is knowing that you're relinquishing that to another person. Like, it's not just, I built this, I did this, I created this. It's, you have to share that with someone else. It's not just you anymore. And that's that card. This is you, your victory, your success, your, you getting the attention and recognition. But the biggest thing here is the change and the shift in balance. Or that there's a fear there that there would be such a change. Alright, so your perspective, how you see the situation. You do have some secret thoughts here. With the Seven of Swords, you know, that can talk about deception, it can talk about strategy, plotting, planning, but it's also a card of secret thoughts. Things that you keep to yourself. Because swords rule the mind, and this is like, it's not always deceptive, it's just not out in the open for everyone to see. So, secret thoughts. Let's look at one more with that. Knight of Cups and the Seven of Swords, please, for Emily's perspective. How does she see the situation? What is her perspective of what's going on? One more with the Knight of Cups and the Seven of Swords, please, for Emily's perspective of the situation. Give me one more with the Knight of Cups and the Seven of Swords. Okay, we had two come out. This one flipped over, so I'm going to put that one there. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, your thoughts are that you're back and forth. You're still indecisive. You're still uncertain. You're still, you know, there's some indecisiveness here with the Two of Pentacles. It's like you're juggling something. And you are keeping quiet about it. It is more internalizing things. Having those conversations with yourself. You're seeking out answers with the Hermit. That's Virgo energy. We have Taurus, or why did I say Taurus? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So you are secretly undecided here, and you're going back and forth. Tell me about what are the secret thoughts here with the Seven of Swords. Oh, we'll clarify the Seven of Swords first of all. What does this represent? Maybe you feel like he's holding something back, or he is being dishonest in some way. He's not being transparent. Tell me about that Seven of Swords. Okay. Oh. See, I thought that, but I didn't want to say it. Do you have a secret crush on somebody? Or maybe you're just curious about what else is out there. Maybe you're secretly entertaining the idea, not like entertaining somebody, but entertaining the idea of someone else. You did mention that you are getting offers, and that's what the Ace of Cups represents. It's an emotional offer, an expression of love or interest or curiosity. You may be kind of secretly thinking about that and going back and forth. Tell me about that Knight of Cups. Oh. Tell me about that Knight of Cups. And the Magician. Doesn't it seem like when you are in a serious commitment that you seem to get more offers all of a sudden, like out of the blue? Maybe that's something that you're thinking to yourself. Why is it that when I'm moving in a serious direction towards settling, all of a sudden all these offers just bombarding me, all these people coming out of the woodwork? Like people that I would expect, and then people that I would totally never have seen coming. Tell me about that Knight of Cups. Tell me about that Knight. Okay. Oh, King of Cups. Okay, a couple different things. Maybe you think that he is being emotionally manipulative in some way, or emotionally deceptive. Like he's saying one thing but his actions do say otherwise, or vice versa. Like he comes off as somebody that's very genuine and sincere and trustworthy, because that's the King and the Knight of Cups. That's someone who expresses themselves like off the cuff. Whatever they say, they mean, they feel. Whatever they say, they mean. Oh my God. Whatever they say, they feel, they mean. However, with the Seven of Swords here, you might be second-guessing, Two of Pentacles, second-guessing the value of what he's offering. Or there is someone else who has been manifested, not intentionally, but unintentional or otherwise. You're secretly thinking about this person's offer. Maybe it's both of those things at the same time. Tarot tells more than one story sometimes. So maybe you're very curious about one of these people that has approached you. if that's not the case, then it's the other thing where you feel like you go back and forth, or you feel like he does. Like one day or one moment he's very loving and expressive, and then the next moment he changes and he becomes cold or distant or seems to struggle with expressing himself. And it's giving you this awkward, like, can I trust you? Can I not trust you? Are you being honest? Are you not? Like, do that the Three of Cups. Good grief. So, I kind of wondered if there was somebody else, though, because of that King of Wands with the Queen of Wands. If there's somebody that's kind of stirred your interest or your passion, like maybe excites you a little bit. But if that's not the case, then the other applies, because you could read them both ways. Alright, truth of the situation, truth of the matter, how you see things versus the reality, and what it is that you do not know that would greatly benefit you to know about what's going on, the situation. Tell me one more with the Three of Pentacles and the Page of Wands, please, for the truth of the matter, the heart of the matter. What is it that Emily does not know that would greatly benefit her to know regarding the situation as it stands between her and Preston? One more with the Three of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. One more with the Three of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. High Priestess. Something is stirring your intuition here. It's tickling, it's nudging. It's a very quiet nudge or a very quiet voice, but it's getting louder. Maybe that's an aspect of what you're holding off, or what you're not releasing, or what you're holding very strongly to is ignoring this, because the High Priestess talks about our intuition, our knowledge that isn't voiced out loud, but we know deep down. Tell me about that Three of Pentacles. Let me go for what I'm feeling right now. What you have is safe. It's a safe bet. However, with that Page of Wands, a part of you yearns for something more, something that strikes a deeper chord in you. And I know that we have done readings in the past regarding him where the level of passion wasn't where you wanted it to be. Maybe that's an aspect, especially since this Page of Wands is here, because the Page of Wands is, you know, it's the curious, adventurous, spontaneous aspect of ourselves that wants to seek out new, seek out excitement, seek out new experiences. What you have is safe, however, like I said, a part of you yearns for something that hits you on a more profound, possibly maybe like soul level. So tell me about that Three of Pentacles. Tell me about that Three of Pentacles, please. Clarify that Three of Pentacles for the truth, the heart of the matter, which she does not know that would greatly benefit her to know. This is telling me that you should listen to your intuition, which is repeated up here. What is so hard about this is that you feel a calling towards both. You feel a calling towards safe, predictable, something that you can rely on, this strong foundation. Okay, this is teamwork, collaboration, cooperation, something that you can build from there. You know, the 3 is the beginning of a foundation, and you feel the call towards that gives you security, that you know you can achieve great things if you invest in it. You feel called to this, but deep down you also feel called towards something else. Maybe you can't name it. You don't really know what it is. Your intuition does, your soul does, but you know, we are mostly, how would you say this? We are drawn to what we can physically see and understand. And when we feel things that we can't see and can't understand, we mark that off as just fantasy or just unrealistic thinking. Or the 9 of Swords came out, and I was about to put that up. This keeps you up at night. This haunts you. It's like you're trying to stifle this part of you that yearns to seek out more, because you feel the call to both the safe and the predictable and the uncertain but just as strong impulse. Tell me about that Page of Wands, please. Tell me about that Page of Wands. What does that Page of Wands want to do? Ace of Swords. You're fighting a truth here, an internal truth. A truth that you're still curious. This is the thing that you can't stop thinking about. 9 of Swords. Keeps you up at night. Causes anxiety, stress. Maybe it was something that was communicated here as well. Like a truth, a communication that came out that that made things make less sense. You had a strong inclination towards that 3 of Pentacles. But then, tell me about that High Priestess. What is she trying to tell us here? Other than pay attention to your intuition, what does she want to express? What does your intuition know? What does your heart and your spirit know? The High Priestess. What does the High Priestess want to say? King of Wands again. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries with the Knight of Swords. Okay, if this was something that was said, it was said in the heat of the moment. But I don't think it made it any less true. Because it came from a place that was intrinsic, like held within for, it was held within, but then it was expressed. Or, again, there is a calling to a person here, another person. Now, if that does not apply, then just go with what I said previously. You're having panic or feeling panic because of something that was expressed, and it was spoken in anger in the moment, But with the High Priestess, I think that it was something that came from a real place. But more than that, I feel like you're strongly called to both sides of this. Both to the safety, you know, it might be less exciting and it might be less passion because it is, you know, it's safe. The unsafe is usually what is exciting because you never know what's next. It's like a roller coaster. This is not a roller coaster. You can always, you know what to expect. But there's a part of you that enjoys the not knowing, the uncertainty, the promise of the unknown. That's what stirs your passion. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is what stirs us to create and go outside our comfort level. Do things we've never done, experience things we've never experienced, and, you know, learn from that and grow from that. What it is that you do not know is that your intuition is telling you something here, and there's a truth. But I think it's both. I think there was something that was said, and it was said in the heat of the moment, but it wasn't just because it was said in anger or, you know, impulsively. It didn't make it any less true. But also, there's a truth that you're holding on to, or that you can't rid yourself of, rather. Because I feel like with that Nine of Swords, it's something that you wish wasn't true. But it is, that we are called towards something bigger, something more than the humdrum. Not to say that, you know, the humdrum is only for boring people or domesticated. There's nothing wrong with this unless you're settling, in which case you're always going to feel that call until you're numb, I guess. But that's completely up to the person. Some people find fulfillment in safety and security and stability and always knowing what they're going to have for dinner every day for the rest of their lives. Other people like to mix things up. They like surprises. They like spontaneity, however you say that. I know words. Alright. His true intentions, I know we've done this before, but I'm doing it again. True intentions and motivations and wanting to move in with you. So far this looks good. Despite my misgivings, I'll be honest, I have misgivings about the situation, about him. From what I've heard, I know you only come to me when you have issues. I don't know the good parts, really. Other than he is, you know, safe. Or he makes you feel safe. As far as accountability, consistency, that's a better word. For the most part. Tell me one more with the Two and the Queen of Cups. For Preston's true motives and intentions in moving in with Emily, please. One more with the Two and the Queen of Cups. For his true motives and intentions in moving in with her. One more, please, with the Two and the Queen of Cups. One. There we go. Thank you. Well, I came out in the challenge position, but I'm going to keep it in the upright. Alright, so overall, like the Two and the Queen of Cups is good. Sincerity, true love, like real love, real feelings. He genuinely cares with the Justice card, he just might want something that, hold on, this is about to go off, so I'm going to go ahead and redo or restart. 1 second. Ugh. Okay. Something that is balanced, equal, fair. Alright. Tell me about that Two of Cups. With the Two of Cups and the Justice card, that's Libra energy, by the way. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I feel like he genuinely cares about you, and he sees a life where there would be balance, you know, reciprocated energy. Again, he feels a sense of victory, success. You make him feel good about himself, basically. I think he wants to return the favor for the most part. Tell me about that too. He truly feels that whatever challenges or things that happen, that when you see the worst in him or he sees the worst in you, you can both overcome that. Like, I think with you, he feels like there's nothing he couldn't achieve, and especially within the relationship, if you had issues, if you or he had regrets about something said or done, that you could always overcome that together. Tell me about that Queen of Cups. Tell me about that Queen of Cups for his true motives and intentions in moving in with Emily. Five of Wands. He just wants peace with that Five of Wands. It's almost like he's got this, I don't know if it's like distaste or loathing even, but I think it feels more like just general distaste about arguments. Like he tries to avoid conflict, and sometimes that would mean ignoring the problem. I feel like he would want to take a hands-off approach and just pretend like it doesn't exist, and if cornered, I feel like it would become something that gets out of hand. Because there's such an aversion to any kind of conflict. He just wants peace all the time. Generally, I think he likes civility and harmony, and when that is disrupted, it's like, I'm not going to argue with you, and then in doing so, he ignores the problem completely, even if the problem came from him. But he wants to avoid any drama. Tell me about the Justice. Tell me about Justice. Okay. Yeah, whatever issues or problems, yeah, like, we can overcome them, he says, but his approach to it is to just pretend it doesn't exist, or to avoid it, or I'm not getting a read so much. This tells me his true intentions in wanting to move in, but this feels more like the issues that I think they would be unresolved for the most part, and there would be conflict only to the point where you disturb him enough to where he feels like you brought him out of character. I think that's some of the issues here that would happen, because you wouldn't let it go, or if you did, it would become like quiet suffocation because he doesn't want to address it. I feel like a very strong aversion to conflict. Like, I just want peace. Just don't disturb my peace. Even if it's something that needed to be resolved. But overall, genuinely, he wants, he loves you, he cares for you. He has real feelings for you. He wants things to be balanced and equal and fair and right. But when you would feel that things weren't, I don't think he would be proactive in addressing or acknowledging that. He'd want to avoid it until it came to a point where it blew up. Because I think he feels like as long as we're together, that's my happy place. I just want to love and be loved. But I think he has an unrealistic expectation on how that's done. It's not done by ignoring issues. That Five of Wands underneath the Queen of Cups, there could be some internal conflict as well. But again, he's trying to ignore it. I get that because of the way she's holding her hands up, like, I'm not gonna look at it. It's not real. It's kind of similar to your energy that I was saying earlier, but his is more like self-directed, like it's more internal. You deal with that to external things. When there's issues, he internalizes them and shuts down and wants to take a hands-off approach, but that's not feasible but as far as his intentions, they seem to be in the right place. His heart's in the right place. It's just, that's going to be an issue, I think. Alright, coming towards you. What is coming towards you? This has not got anything to do, or it might not have anything to do with Preston. Could be something else. One more with the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Wands, please, for what is the most important, influential thing coming towards Emily that she would want or needs to know about. Tell me one more with the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Wands, please, for what is coming towards her. One more with the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Wands. One more, please. Nine of Cups, Ten of Wands. One, two, and three. We had the Four of Swords come out. Verify that by the Hierophant. Taurus energy. Tell me about that Ten of Wands. This could literally be him moving into your home. It's like all her bags are packed and this is her little nest, her happy place. This can show the Hierophant can be like a traditional higher level of commitment. So literally moving in. This could also be something that requires a lot from you to the point where you kind of Remember in the first part, underneath the sun, we had the Four of Swords, and we have the Four of Swords here again. So something that requires a lot from you, or is being asked of you, responsibility, obligation, duty, something like that. It could be work related, it could be family related, it could be related to him, it could be related to something else entirely. But it puts you in a place where, like, God, I need a break. And so you mentally check out, mentally take a break, mentally shut down, or communication is brought to a minimum at best. You can also talk about stopping communication for a time, temporarily. Tell me about that Ten of Wands. What is it that causes this Ten of Wands? What is it? Well, first of all, what does the Ten of Wands represent? What does that Ten of Wands represent, please, for what's coming towards her? Oh, 2 for the price of 1. Oh boy. Well, whatever this is, you don't want to deal with it. Uncertainty, indecision, not looking at all the facts, or a refusal to look at something. Possibly blocking, but with the Five of Pentacles, this could talk about rejection. Somebody may be needing help, especially financial. If it's him moving in, this could be a rejection of that. Or like, I'm not talking about this right now. Like a temporary closing something down to do with that. Otherwise, it's something that someone is asking for your assistance to a degree that you don't want to be involved, or you wish you didn't have to be. Like, it's a lot of, it's a burden. It's burdensome. Tell me about that Nine of Cups. This could be to do with someone else's wish, somebody else's want. I don't think it's yours, because you are like, you're needing a mental break from it. Tell me about that Nine of Cups. Five of Wands. Okay, this could be conflict over somebody else, something somebody else wants. Something that would please someone else, but to bring it together, they're asking for your help. In what way, I'm not sure. Maybe, you know, it could be your opinion on something, or your financial help, or whatever it is. It's mentally a strain on you, and possibly even a physical strain. It's like I said, it's a burden. And with that Four of Swords, you kind of you don't want to be involved. You might involve yourself, but you'll need a break after. Like, you'll mentally be depleted. This could be a friend, a co-worker, a family member. It could be to do with Preston. But regardless, it looks like it's a strain on you, especially mentally and or physically. It could even be putting off moving in together. I'm not sure, I'm not 100% sure that's the case, but it stalls things, or it stalls something. Stalls you, stalls the relationship, stalls something in your life. It like puts a roadblock. it could be somebody else is struggling, and again, they're asking for your assistance in some way. And you really, it wears you down, or their ask is heavy on you in some way. Okay, so I almost want to leave advice till the end, but we'll go ahead and do it. I'm going to switch it up. Tell me one more about Tell me one more about that Seven of Swords. Sorry if that's the right one. Seven of Swords and Three of Pentacles. What is your advice for Emily in this situation? What is for her best interest, greatest good, highest potential? Okay. Clarify that Seven of Swords. What do you want her to do with that Seven of Swords? What is that? That's too many. This is about shutting something down. You may have to ask assistance, maybe moral support. If you have a support system surrounding you, you may have to ask friends for help, guidance, or working together in some way to shut something down. I don't know what. You may be the one that's called as a friend to help someone do this as well. And if that's the case, if this has to do with this, this is asking you to be a part of it, but only help them in a way that helps, like, practical. What you can afford to give or help. Like if they're needing money, then only give enough that you're not in deficit. If it's moral support, help them in a way that will help them in the long run. It's kind of like that saying, feed a man for or catch a man a fish, you feed him for a day, teach him how to fish, you feed him for life. It's kind of like that. Like whatever help or assistance you're giving, make sure that it's something that they don't keep coming back or to other people to ask. Like help them in a practical way. Now if this is about you, something that you're supposed to shut down because it's bad for you, it's unhealthy for you, then you're supposed to ask for help. Don't try to do it on your own. Don't be too proud to ask for help or assistance. Okay. Tell me about this Three of Pentacles. This could involve a friendship or a work situation. It kind of looks like it's you. Something that's holding you back. You're supposed to shut down. It's preventing you from bringing something together for you. Tell me about that Three of Pentacles, please. For what her advice is, Emily's advice is regarding the situation. Tell me about that Three of Pentacles. What does that Three of Pentacles represent for what your advice is for her in this situation? supposed to release something here. It could be whatever it is that's costing you. And I mean costing you in a way that you know where it's coming from, you know what it is, it's hurting you. It's not something that's, you know, subtle. It's causing you pain, it's causing you grief. Whatever that is, you're supposed to release yourself from it. Whether that's an obligation to someone else who is only taking, or that you gave to the situation as much as you could, but it's never enough. It's preventing you from moving on with your life with the Chariot. It's preventing you from reaching your success because you're attending to someone else's, or something else is costing you. And it's hindering your progress. Whatever this thing is, it's hindering your progress. So if this is a friendship where, you know, you're asked to help, again, only give to it so that it doesn't prevent you from reaching the level that you're supposed to. Like, don't deplete yourself in the name of being a good friend, or a good employee, or a good daughter, or sister, or cousin, or whatever. And if it is you that is being depleted, like whatever situation you're dealing with, you're meant to cut it off. Tell me about the Chariot. Oh. Chariot. Yeah, it's something that you've procrastinated, you've put off dealing with. It's time to resolve this. It's time to do the hard thing here. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is talking about Preston. If it's gotten to the point, whatever this is, it's gotten to the point where it's hurting you more than it's helping you. That's the thing you're supposed to release. If it's causing you more pain and more grief than it is a sense of freedom, of optimism, of you know, being carefree and growing into the person you're wanting and supposed to become, you can't not look at it anymore. Whatever this is, you have been trying not to look at it. Whatever that is, you're meant to cut it off. Or if you are being asked to help someone else cut something off, again, only do it to the degree that you are not put in the same situation. It could be somebody that continuously comes and asks you for help in the same area or the same manner or the same situation over and over, and you keep telling them or giving to the situation, and every single time it's the same deal, and it's time to be like, you know, I've helped you as much as I can. At some point you're going to have to help yourself. But again, if that's you, then that's something you need to do for you. Alright, outside or external, I asked this one to be, is there anything that you could take seriously or should take seriously regarding the offers that you've been receiving? One more, oh, wrong deck. One more with the Seven of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands for outside or external. Empress. Okay, tell me about that Seven of Pentacles. Could be somebody that you've known for a time. Let me clarify, because I'm getting a couple things here. Tell me about that Seven of Pentacles. Is there anything that she can take seriously? Okay. And what about the Ace of Wands? Tell me about that Ace of Wands. of Wands, please. Okay. I see some internal conflict about a fallout. It's internal and external conflict. It could be about you and your own security, especially financial security, fighting, and it's causing a rift in a relationship. Either your relationship with Preston or your relationship with a mother type figure. Okay, first and foremost, yes, there's a possibility with someone else. Yes. But that would mean breaking up. That's pretty obvious. But I also see something here external to you where you are both internally conflicted, but there's conflict going on, heavy fighting, or it's getting to the point where you're at somebody else's throat, or they're at your throat, or it's disagreements, or like this feeling of like resentment, or I can't, I'm getting to where I can't stand this person, or I don't like the way they speak to me, and how they treat me, they belittle me, or something like that. And it's causing a rift within a family situation or a work situation, and it's harming you and the connection that you have with that person. It could have to be about an offer that was made, and it's like the money's good and the potential of success is good, but at the same time it's harming a connection. It's causing a rift. It's causing a rift in you, or it's causing a rift in another connection. And I kind of feel like this is that situation with your mother-in-law. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that. Or not your mother-in-law. Why did I say mother-in-law? Your stepmom. That situation. It feels like it's getting to the point where it's hard to be around this person, or it's hard not to want to say something. But if that's not the case, then it could be an entire other situation. But yes, there is a connection that you could take seriously. It would mean breaking up. But I see something else here where internal conflict is starting to bubble to the surface, and it's either affecting your relationship in a negative way, or it has a hand in it. Not that it's directly responsible, but it's impacting it, and not in a good way. I hope that's not confusing. I'm trying not to be confusing, because I'm getting two very different messages. That yes, there is a connection that you could take seriously, but the implication of that would be the breakup of your current relationship. And then I see a whole nother situation with there's another feminine attached. I mean, this could be somebody that's married. This could be you're dealing with a woman that's, like I said, your stepmom, that situation, or it could be something else. It's kind of confusing to me, so I'm trying to not be confusing to you. I hope you know what this is. you're looking at it like, man, this has served me well for a really long time, but I still feel like conflicted about it. And it's causing conflict as well. Maybe not with this person directly, but it's causing like spats or just arguments. But to the yes question of there's something that you could take seriously, I don't think it would be a smooth transition, honestly, just because of the breakup that would ensue. But I think it would be, I mean, it's hard to say because it's not a long look into that connection. It's just saying that yes, you would feel good, to be very, very simplistic about it. All right, let's move on to best case scenario for you. Not what it is going to be, but what would be the best possible outcome for you in this situation. Following your intuition, first and foremost, listening to the quiet voice, but the truth is loud. Okay, so whatever that is, High Priestess and the Three of Cups for the best possible outcome here for Emily, for her best interest, greatest good, highest potential, only what serves towards her best interest, her highest possible potential here. High Priestess and the Three of Cups. What is the best possible outcome here with the High Priestess and the Three of Cups for Emily? The Lovers again. Okay, first and foremost, if there is somebody that you feel a strong connection with, you feel an undeniable heart, mind, body, soul connection, explore that. Now, if that is with Preston, then see that through. But if there is someone else outside of that, tell me about the High Priestess. Follow your heart. Point blank period. Follow your heart. Tell me about the Three of Cups. Tell me about that Three of Cups. Tell me about the Three of Cups, please. Strong Pisces energy here. We also have Cancer, Aquarius, Aries, Gemini. Tell me about the Three of Cups, please. Clarify that Three of Cups for her best possible outcome. One. Okay. What? Page of Pentacles. Stay curious. There's something you're supposed to explore here. Okay, now tell me about the Lovers. That's also a head over heart decision, but with this one I think you're supposed to follow your heart. Go where you're guided. There's something that you are strongly guided towards and you're not listening to that. Tell me about that, Lovers, for Emily's best possible outcome. Ultimately, it is your decision, and it's one that you're being asked to go with your heart, go with your gut. But at the end of the day, it's whatever decision you do make, you have to make the one that's best for you. However, I'm getting strong indication here that there is something that you deep down know, and you're meant to explore what that is with the Page of Pentacles. That's the student. You're supposed to hear that out. Hear it out. And then from there, explore what that means. I don't know if that's Preston, if that's who you deep down know you're meant to be with, or if that's somebody else, or if that's just another path altogether. But it's like with the Queen of Swords, you are meant to thoroughly you have the jurisdiction here. You can't base your decision on any other person's perspective, opinion, thought. Whether it's right or wrong does not apply here, because again, and I've said this before, it is your life. So what other people think, how other people feel, it does not apply when it comes to your life, your decision. I feel like with the High Priestess showing up twice, and all of these cards point to something that you are called to. I don't know that it's specifically a person, but honestly, it does kind of feel that way. I don't know. Whatever that is for you, you're meant to explore it, though. At least open the door and look, instead of trying to ignore it. Because you only have the one life. Follow your heart. Listen to your intuition. Explore every possible avenue and option you have, especially the one that you feel an undeniable call. And that might not even be a person. It's very specific to you. Alright, most probable outcome, should Preston move in? What is the... I keep picking up the wrong damn deck. What is the most probable outcome here, should Preston move in? I'm going to put that back. One more with the 8 of Wands and the 7 of Cups. Most probable outcome, should Preston move in with Emily at this time? Most probable outcome, 8 of Wands and the 7 of Cups. I think there's some uncertainty. It'll shake things up with that 7 of Cups. There'll be some confusion. With the Ace of Swords, that might mean that things will even out eventually. Or that things moving very quickly. Boom, 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 boom. 7 of Cups is like, what the hell just happened? I'm confused, lack of clarity, uncertainty, disillusion or self-delusion, and then the Ace of Swords comes out and it illuminates a truth here. What that truth is. Tell me about what is the truth here with the Ace of Swords. What truth, what clarity, what epiphany here with this Ace of Swords. Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups, please. Most probable outcome. One. It's too many. Two. And the Eight of Wands. Alright, basically what I'm seeing here, I think Preston is a good guy. And I'm saying this because this is here. His heart's in the right place for the most part. But I think that you're having the feelings. This is not the first time you've come to me for a reading about him. And that is because there is something that is triggering you to feel a certain way. I think it would happen with anybody for the most part. But I always get the same impression. Is that there's a part of you that knows that there's something wrong, or there's something missing, or there's something that's not quite right. Not that he would ever hurt you, abandon you, nothing like that. But that Ten of Cups came out in the reverse. That there's something that you wouldn't. You'd be safe. You'd be financially secure. You'd have everything you needed. You might even, be a power couple when it comes to financial, like, resources. But the happiness aspect, you being happy, like truly, truly happy, would always be something that you would look at over and over again. I think there's a part of you that knows this, and you keep thinking that if you would just be reasonable or logical or sit in your head some more and think about it, it would make sense over time. It would become clear. But I think the opposite is the truth here, is that the more time you sit with it and the longer you stay in it, the less clear it's going to be. And then one day you're going to realize that you sacrificed something here. Now, is it a sacrifice you can live with? Probably. But again, this is the one that's, it's up to you what you can live with, what sacrifice you can live with. If being financially secure, which I think you would be, is a safe bet, then go for it. But if you can't sacrifice your sense of emotional fulfillment, that is what is a question here. The truth of the matter is, you're never going to feel, or you might not ever feel, completely happy. I don't know if that is something that you will struggle with in any relationship, just based on how you are. And I'm not trying to say anything negative about you, because there's people out there that have it all and they're still unhappy. I don't know if that's like, hold on, I've got to do this.